Greetings and salutations, comrades, and welcome back to the Test Reality Check. I'm your host, Static Crowbar. We're going to just dive straight into this, because it's about time we move on to questions with a bit more substance. This might get a little personal. Don't be afraid to answer honestly here. Questions are only going to get more personal and in-depth as we go down into this deep, dark rabbit hole of a subconscious. I am recording this immediately after I recorded the last episode, partially because I kind of need to get through this game to figure out if I'm going to post any of this. But also, I really want to take advantage of the empty house. Let's not waste any time. Here we go. Do you feel that you're truly seen and understood by those closest to you? Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Are you at peace with choices you've made that changed the course of your life? Are you at peace with the choices you've made that changed the course of your life? Yes. It took me a long time to get to a point where I'm at peace with them. I still haven't forgiven myself. I don't know if that's contradictory, but yeah. Do you believe you've healed from painful experiences in your past? No. No, I still struggle with a lot of my traumas to this day. Do you genuinely love yourself beyond your accomplishments or appearance? Well, we all know I'm a handsome bastard. No. No, I do not. But again, I'm trying. Are you willing to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself? Yes, absolutely. Do you feel you are doing enough to make a difference in the world? No. No, there's always more I could be doing. When you make mistakes, do you treat yourself with the same compassion you show others? No, I am super hard on myself. I am extremely self-deprecating, and I treat myself like shit. But I'm trying to be better. Are you happy with the way you manage your time each day? No, because there's too much to do, not enough time in the day, and I always feel like no matter how many checks I put in boxes, I feel like there's more I could have done. Like right now, I'm talking to you. Hi. When there's laundry that needs to be folded, a house that needs to be cleaned, and all kinds of stuff that needs to get done. Do you feel your relationships bring out the best in you? Depends on the relationship, but yes. Have you allowed yourself to dream big without fearing failure? Yes. Do you believe you're worthy of unconditional love? I struggle with this one sometimes. Going back to that self-deprecation and learning to forgive myself. But there are these moments of clarity that I have, especially if I get the chance to lock eyes with Crowbar for a few solid seconds. And that reminds me of the love that we share. And that shows me that whether I believe it or not is kind of irrelevant, at least in my eyes, because I have it. And she gives that to me. And in those moments where we do share that intimacy, whether I believe it or not, she does. And I believe in the her that believes in me. So by extension, yes. Are you proud of the way you respond to challenges? Usually. Do you trust yourself to make difficult decisions? This is a tough one. But yes, actually I do. Are you honest with yourself about the habits that hold you back? Yes. Do you feel inspired by the life you're building for yourself? I'm quickly approaching the back half of my life, statistically speaking. But given where I was and where I am today, having been legitimately homeless, not having access to a shower, clean clothes, food, in some cases, to where I am now, where I just bought a dozen eggs. Because I'm just so filthy rich, you know. Was that too real? I feel like that was a little too real. I'm sorry. I was not intentionally trying to call anyone out, but the state of the economy sucks. I'm sorry. Anywho's, yes. Are you willing to risk vulnerability to build closer connections? Yes. Do you allow yourself to feel a full range of emotions without shame? On occasion. Do you think it's possible to live without regret? I think it's possible. In the same way that it is possible, through the law of infinite probabilities, for your dryer to spit out a load of laundry that is completely folded. So yes. Do you find joy in the small, everyday moments of life? Sometimes I have to force myself to, but I do try. Are you afraid of expressing your deepest dreams to others? No. No, absolutely not. Have you accepted aspects of yourself that you once struggled to embrace? Yes. Yes. Let me say that for you in the back. Yes. Are you open to changing your mind when presented with new perspectives? Yes, I absolutely am. If there's a compelling argument rooted in reason and logic, I am absolutely able to change my mind, or at least open to the possibility. Do you feel a deep sense of gratitude for where you are in life? Hell yes. Hell yes. Are you able to recognize when you're pushing yourself too hard? No, and that's why injury occurs. I'm getting really loud. Do you seek external validation more often than you wish you did? Yes. Have you forgiven those who may have hurt you deeply? Yes. Even if they don't know it. Do you have a clear sense of what happiness means to you personally? No. Are you content with the memories you're creating in life? No. Because I want to create more. Do you often regret things you didn't say or do? I would say that it's more common for me to regret the things I did say or do than it is for me to regret things I didn't say or do. Are you more critical of yourself than others are of you? Oh, hell yeah. I am my worst critic. Do you take time to celebrate your progress? Again, I'm getting better about that. Are you willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve you? Yes, I've actually culled the tree many, many, many times in my life. For better or worse, it may not have always been the right call, but there were times where it absolutely was the right call. That's not to say I get rid of every relationship. I've been married for a decade at this point, and I've had friendships longer than that. But there are... Let me back up, because it's not... that no longer serve you. That's not... I misinterpreted this. I am not willing to let go of relationships that don't serve me. I am willing to get rid of relationships that harm me or are holding me back. But it is not a servitude thing, so no. Do you feel that your life aligns with your core values? For the most part, yes. Do you allow yourself to be fully present with the people you love? Sometimes I feel like I have to force it, but I think that's more of an ADHD thing. So yes. Are you living a life that reflects what's most important to you? Yes. Do you believe that your current life path will lead you to fulfillment? Absolutely. Are you willing to take risks to pursue your dreams, even if they seem impractical? Yes. Have you forgiven yourself for times you may have hurt others? I have forgiven myself for many of the things I've done to hurt others. Yes. Do you make choices that honor your true needs, not just your wants? I'm getting better about it all the time. For example, I didn't buy new headphones last week after I lost mine at LAX. Those of you who've been watching for a long time may recognize these bad boys. Are you satisfied with the way you express love to those around you? I'm gonna say no. And that goes back to an earlier question where I constantly seek betterment in myself and how I treat others and myself. So I'm gonna go no. Do you feel secure enough to be your authentic self even if others disapprove? Usually. Are you, excuse me, are you able to recognize when something is no longer good for you? Yes. It took me a long time to get there, but yes. That goes back to culling relationships as one example. Do you trust yourself to make the changes you know you need? If I am able to recognize it, then yes. Are you willing to move forward without closure in situations that lack it? Yes. Going back to some of those relationships that I've called. A lot of those never did get closure, but do you feel that you are on a journey of growth and learning? Always. Are you able to recognize when you are self-sabotaging? No. Sometimes yes, but for the most part, no. Usually it has to be pointed out to me. Do you find it easy to accept compliments and praise? No. No, I do not. If someone compliments me, I usually respond with sarcasm or self-deprecation, or accuse them of having low standards. And that's like 90% of the time. I'm, again, trying to get better about that. But, yeah. Do you make an effort to understand and forgive yourself for your weaknesses? To understand, yes. Forgive, no. Better, yes. So I'm going to say no because it's a mutually inclusive question, so no. Are you willing to set boundaries even if it disappoints others? Yes. There are people in my life who don't understand where we're at with things like bedtime. I'm not going into specifics because this video is going up on the internet. And while they may be accommodating to that, they have said numerous times that they don't get it, they don't understand it, because they look at other kids around the same age as ours, and they're like, oh, well, they're up until 10 p.m. Why don't you let yours do that? Well, because, Brenda, if we let them stay up until 9, it is a freaking war to get them to go to sleep, you understand? That's why they go to bed at 7:30 or 8. I don't know anyone named Brenda, just so we're clear. That was just an act for the camera. Do you believe you deserve a life filled with love, joy, and peace? That I will say yes. Interesting. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, homie. Good. Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? I believe I've already got a pretty good idea of what we're working with here. I just want to ask you one last set of questions to make sure we're completely locked in before I give my analysis. You can expect the same kind of questions as before, but with a bit more meat on the bone, if you will. Let's dive right in. Do you hide parts of yourself from others because you fear they wouldn't accept the real you? Yes. Is there someone from your past you still think about, but pretend you don't? Yes. And just in case some people watch this in the future, I am fully transparent with Crowbar when those thoughts pop up. I think I just froze the game. Uh-oh. Oh no. That sucked. Game froze. Do you hide parts of yourself from others because you fear they wouldn't accept the real you? Yes, I do. There's a couple people, going back to this question, there's a couple people that I am fully open with. It's a very, very, very tight-knit group, though. Is there someone from your past you still think about but pretend you don't? Already answered that one. Yes. Do you truly believe you're deserving of the things you long for? I don't. Have you ever hurt someone you loved simply because you were hurting yourself? Yeah, actually. That basically describes my high school relationship. High school relationships. Friends and romantic. Are you afraid of what might surface if you allowed yourself to be completely alone with your thoughts? I'm not afraid. I've confronted those many times. I don't like those thoughts, but I'm not afraid of them. Do you ever feel like you're faking happiness to avoid burdening others? Sometimes. Yeah. Is there a part of you that still feels undeserving of love? Yeah, absolutely. Especially when I let regret seep in and start dwelling on those traumas, those mistakes from the past. Yeah. Have you ever sabotaged something? Have you ever sabotaged something good in your life out of fear it might end? Yes. Yes, so you sabotage it. Well, so I sabotaged it specifically so that it would end on my terms. So that I felt like I had some kind of control. I did that a lot. Do you cling to certain relationships because you're afraid of what life might look like without them? No. There was a point where this was true. But based on my circle of friends, which is a very small, tight-knit group, I don't have very many friends, but that's mostly by choice. I don't feel like I cling to them because I'm afraid of what life might look like without them in my life. I don't think I cling to them, but your word, not mine, okay? I cling to them because there's value there. It is a mutually beneficial relationship in all of these cases, so no. Are you avoiding any truths about yourself because they're too painful to confront? No. I'm gonna go with no. But I am on a road to self-discovery to determine what is true about me that needs to be confronted and changed. Do you ever worry that deep down you're not as good a person as you want to be constantly? Constantly. I have imposter syndrome so bad. Is there something you want to say to someone but feel you never could? Yes. Yes. Oh no, you're not getting that out of me. I'm way too sober to go down that level of admittance. Do you stay busy to avoid reflecting on things you'd rather not face? Sometimes, yeah. That's part of why I struggle to actually sit down and relax. I have to constantly be doing something. constantly. Do you find yourself envying people who seem more confident or at peace? Yep. Have you ever felt completely and utterly alone? Many, 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 many times. And not all too long ago either. Is there something you wish you could change about yourself but don't know how? Yeah. I wish I could manage time better. I wish I could stop being such a workaholic. I wish I could be a better father. Because there are so many parts where I know I'm coming up short. And despite my best efforts, I feel like I'm always coming up short as a father. Do you feel like you're a different person with different people? And does that make you feel inauthentic? Yes, but no. I feel like I'm somewhat of a chameleon where I adapt my personality, my sense of humor, myself to... Is there someone sweeping there? Sorry, I heard a weird noise. But I don't remember who it was. I believe it was a Greek philosopher that said something about how we have different faces for different people. That doesn't make you inauthentic. Just because you're not revealing every aspect of yourself to different people all the time, it doesn't make you an inauthentic person. It just makes you adaptable. And I don't think there's anything inauthentic about that. You know, unless, you know, you're pretending that you love golf, so you're constantly going golfing, even though you hate it, right? That might be a little inauthentic, but I don't do that. Are you still angry about something from your past that you can't let go of? Yep. Do you believe that if people knew your deepest insecurities, they would judge you? Certain people, yeah. Have you ever stayed in a situation that hurt you just because it was familiar? Yes. Yes, I did. Do you hold on to resentment because it's easier than confronting your pain? Do I hold on to resentment because it's easier than confronting your pain? I can think of at least one scenario where that's probably a true statement. Are there parts of your identity you've compromised for the sake of others' acceptance? Historically, yes. Historically, yes. Do you compare yourself to others and feel you fall short? I'm not that short. Have you ever resented someone else's happiness or success? I have. For better or worse, I have. I've looked at people, seen how far ahead of me they are in life, in career, whatever, and felt that they did nothing more special than I've done, and therefore shouldn't deserve that. Or that's the old school of thought. Nowadays, I have this other school of thought where I don't think that they're not deserving, but I struggle to see how they may deserve it more than me, if that's even true. But most of the time I just focus on, you know, that person's where I want to be. What do I need to do to get there? So I will say that I don't resent people for where they are in happiness or success anymore, but I used to. So I'm gonna say yes. Are there things about yourself that you hide, even from the people closest to you? Not from the people closest to me. Do you feel like you rely on validation from others to feel good about yourself? Yes. Have you ever put others' needs before your own to the point where it hurt you? Yes. Absolutely. I once burned my arm pulling a woman's purse, car seat. Boy, you'd think I'd remember the object, but it was either a car seat or a purse from her burning car. No idea who that person was. Never got her name. But yeah, I was on my way to a job interview and saw a car fire. And there was a woman and her daughter. She was early teens, standing outside that car. This was in Bakersfield, California. And she's just hysterical, freaking out, crying the whole nine. So I pull over, check to see if she was okay, see if there was anyone in the car, and she just said, my purse, my purse, my purse. It had to be a purse, not a car seat. And yeah, I pulled my shirt off, opened the car door, grabbed her purse, burned my arm in the process, and then I stood there, talked to her, made sure that she was okay until police arrived, and then police and the fire department, and then offered her a ride to I think she was on her way to the mall, something like that. So I gave her a ride there, and then we parted ways, never to see each other again. Is there a memory you try to suppress because it still brings you shame or regret? Yes. But not that one. Do you ever feel that you have to earn the love and care of others? Yes. Are you afraid to ask for what you really want, fearing it might push people away? Yes. Yes. Do you sometimes feel like you're living a life you don't recognize or want? That's a loaded question, because there's aspects of my life right now that I don't want and never saw myself ever wanting. But saying I don't recognize it is extremely vague, and I don't know, I feel like that might be trying to reach for a philosophy that's not really there. But on the whole, I am content. I am happy. I'm not content. I said no earlier. I'm sticking by that. But I am happy with the things and people in my life. No. Is there a part of your personality you're ashamed of or try to hide? Depends on the crowd. There is absolutely parts of my personality that I will hide in certain crowds. Do you avoid certain people or places because they bring up difficult memories? I do avoid certain people or places, but not because they bring up difficult memories. Have you made decisions that made you unhappy because you wanted to please others? Yeah, haven't we all? Are you afraid that who you are isn't enough for the people you love? Yes. Yes, I constantly worry that I'm not measuring up to what everyone else needs me to be. Especially those closest to me. Do you stay silent about things that truly matter to you to keep the peace? Funny story. I will usually do this, but I do have a breaking point, and I reached that breaking point back in October on Halloween, actually, and that got really ugly. But for the most part, yes. Yes, I do. With family, at least. Have you ever settled for less than you deserved because it felt safe? But see, that goes back to the question of what do I deserve, and I don't know that I deserve the things that I have, let alone more. I'm gonna go no. Because even if I accept it now, doesn't mean I'm settling for it. Do you feel resentment towards someone and haven't told them about how you truly feel? No. Do you struggle to accept praise because you don't believe it's truly deserved? Yes! We talked about that. My answer is not changing. Is there a relationship in your life that drains you emotionally, but you feel guilty letting go of? No. No. I think I have a fairly healthy balance with the people in my life. Do you feel like you need to pretend to be strong even when you're not? Abso-frickin-lutely, yes. Are you afraid of letting people see you struggle? Yes. Yes, I have this constant need where I feel like because of my role in my family, especially, while I try to be vulnerable and I do open up, I do feel like they need to see that I always have the answers, that I always have it together. I swear, I don't always act like that, but that I cannot get rid of those thoughts. So I'm gonna say yes. Oh no, it locked again. Are you afraid of letting people see you struggle? Yes. Do you sometimes feel ashamed of the things you dream about or wish for? I think we're caught up now. Do you sometimes feel ashamed of the things you dream about or wish for? If I put it in certain contexts, yes. Yes, I feel like I'm being too materialistic sometimes. Yes. Have you held onto a grudge because it feels like your only power in a painful situation? Okay, we are in fact back. No. There are grudges that I still hold on to that I struggle to let go of. But it has nothing, as far as I can tell anyway, it has nothing to do with feeling like that's my only power. Do you feel you're living a life more focused on survival than fulfillment? Yes. Yes. Especially right now, when I struggle to find 2 minutes to rub together. Is there someone you feel you need to forgive, but you can't bring yourself to do it? Yes. Do you ever fear that your deepest fears or insecurities might be true? Well, that's why they're called insecurities, isn't it? Someone once told me that fear stands for false expectations appearing real. Are you afraid that the life you're living isn't truly your own? Listen, I'm a father of 2 kids. 2 amazing, energetic, intelligent kids. And husband to a very loving, doting wife. I know I have no control over my life, okay? But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Because that in that context, there's a tone of negativity surrounding that question that I just don't relate to. Have you ever wished you could start over completely and become someone else? I'm not gonna say wished, but I've thought about it. But I've never wished for it. Do you worry that you're not leaving the kind of legacy you want to be remembered by? Yes. Yes, I do. Which is part of the reason why I came back here. To you. All right, I think we're done here. After learning so much about you based on the answers you've provided, I can guarantee you one thing and one thing only. I swear to God if this ends in a rickroll. I'm about to drop some truth bombs on you. Whether you like what I have to say or not. Hit me. Hit me with those truth bombs. You dropped a bomb on me. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Open your mind, heart, and soul, and listen well. My analysis is as follows. Look, I'm not going to tiptoe around the truth here. You've been carrying this weight for so long, you've practically forgotten what it feels like to walk without 1,000 pounds on your back. The game started telling us that it was going to be heavy, huh? I see you, drowning in the memories of what went wrong, what you missed out on, the people who screwed you over, the chances you never took because you were too damn scared to fail. But I wasn't scared to fail. Well, okay, that's actually not true. I had to learn to accept failure. Drowning in the memories of what went wrong. And I get it. You feel robbed of something, childhood innocence. Maybe your trust, your self-esteem, your belief that life could be beautiful without all this pain, your childhood innocence. Sometimes it feels like you're stuck in a cycle of anger and regret, and it's driving you insane. But you need to listen to me. You are not doomed. That guitar ditty didn't agree with you. Your past might be messy, but it's not a life sentence. Every scar you've got, every bruise on your heart, that's evidence that you survived, that you kept going when life sucker punched you in the gut. Now I'm just remembering those nights where I was sleeping in my car in the parking lot of the Best Buy that I worked at because I had nowhere else to go. Or I did, but I didn't have the funds to get there. Stop letting the world convince you that you're unworthy. You're not some broken toy collecting dust on a shelf. You're a human being with a soul that feels deeply, and that's powerful as hell. Sometimes you push people away because it's easier to reject them first than risk being hurt again. But in doing that, you're blocking out the very love and connection you crave. That's gotta stop. Being vulnerable isn't a death sentence. It's the birthplace of real growth. Again, I've gotten better about that. I have not pushed someone away permanently for many years. The last one I did was a freaking man-child, and my life is better off without him, so. You keep beating yourself up for every mistake. Acting like you're the only one who's ever messed up. No, that one's not true. I'm just at the bottom of the pit with everyone else who's beating themselves up for messing up. Newsflash. Everyone's got skeletons in their closet. Everyone's walked through some shit. The question is, do you let it bury you, or do you rise above it? Maybe no one's told you this lately. Maybe no one's told you this lately. But I'm proud of you. Yes, proud. You've kept going when everything in you screamed to give up. You've struggled, you've stumbled, but you haven't surrendered. And that counts for a lot. And you know what else? You deserve to be happy, damn it. You deserve forgiveness, especially from yourself. You deserve to dream big, love fiercely, and find the kind of peace that warms you from the inside out. So here's the truth. The world is tough, but you're tougher. You have more grit, more heart, and more soul than you give yourself credit for. And it's about time you realize that nobody else can write the ending to your story but you. I don't know if I'm talking to you or me at this point, honestly. You're not a lost cause. You're not past your prime. I am so called out right now. You're not irreparably broken. You're just a human being with a hell of a lot of living left to do, and that's something to celebrate. So promise me this. Don't give up on yourself. Hold your head high. Keep fighting for the life you want, and never forget how far you've already come. Because believe me, there's a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's shining just for you. You are enough. Always have been, always will be. And if no one else has told you lately, I'm telling you now. Oh, I got chills. I love you. And I'm rooting for you. Every single step of the way. Whether you agree with my words or not, just know that my analysis is only half the journey, and perhaps not even the most meaningful part of the journey as a whole. The questions that you ask yourself in life are often far more telling than the answers. The journey is often far more rewarding than the destination, and the person who understands you better than anyone ever could is you. I hope this experience helps you moving forward, and I hope you're able to see the positive and use it to your advantage. You're on your own from here, and your destiny rests in your incredibly capable hands. I didn't say this before, but I really love that character design. It's like Death met Spawn and lost their the scythe. Wow. Comrades, what do you think? Was this introspection eye-opening, illuminating? Do you feel like we've gotten to know each other better and are closer for it? Did my answers scare you and now you are afraid to open yourself to me? Have I scared you away, never to return? Let me know. I love you all. And as always, until next time.